Now going over to the business blunder of the day of General Motors with their 10-speed transmission recall getting, well, even worse. Which is bad news for people who somehow still buy, for some reason, General Motors products. Now, brought to us thanks to Brian Hurd over at thedrive.com. And he says, quote, General Motors' 10-speed transmission recall just got even messier. General Motors added even more trucks and SUVs to the 10-speed valve body recall campaign. It also needs some owners to come in and do a do-over, which, of course, you can see General Motors $100,000 plus Cadillac Escalade Banana Falcon, where they call it trim levels, which, yeah, that's a very fancy Chevrolet SUV you got there. But again, good for the shareholders. People are willing to pay for that. Now they say, quote, with the arrival of 2026, we've entered into a new chapter of General Motors' 10-speed transmission recall saga. If you're not familiar, GM is in the process of addressing faulty valve bodies in the gearboxes it installs in virtually every rear-wheel drive vehicle it builds, going back half a decade. It's a massive undertaking, and GM has been tackling it in stages, at times to the detriment of its owners. I don't want to say it. Actually, no, I kind of do. Wouldn't happen if you had 3 pedals, also known as a manual transmission, which is how every car should be by default, obviously. And yes, I am that weird guy where I've only ever bought and owned stick-shift vehicles, but I partially digress as these automatic transmissions get recalled. He says, quote, General Motors have issued 2 addenda. The first is another expansion of the campaign itself that ropes in some 2022 models that weren't previously recalled. The second, and much smaller, is direct to the subset of customers who already have their transmission control modules reprogrammed to prevent rear-wheel lockups. Only it turns out GM service techs installed the wrong version of the software, effectively defeating the purpose. That's some high-quality union labor right there. They could not even install the right software. As if you needed yet another reason to just goodbye, Toyota. Now, they continue saying, quote, let's focus on the expansion first. General Motors added the 2022 Chevrolet Tahoe and Suburban, GMC Yukon and Yukon XL, Cadillac Escalade and Escalade CSV into the mix, but only those vehicles with the same equipment that GM calls Electronic Transmission Range Select, or ETRS. In human speak, it's Electronic Shift-by-Wire System, which we touched in our deep dive valve body issue. Just make a stick shift. Now, anyway, they say, quote, ETRS wasn't standard on all vehicle models sold with the 10-speed. GM typically offered it for high-end models, picturing it as a luxury feature, and 4x4s that also offered electronic control transfer cases. Effectively, this made GM's high-end customers guinea pigs for the new tech, which all in this brings 43,732 new cars in the campaign. Important to note, the most profitable, important cars that you sell. As again, GM still loses money on EVs, and they make all their money, all their profit, from gas-powered SUVs and trucks. They have recall of the most profitable thing you make, insult to injury. Now, they say, quote, the smaller recall covers just 1,055 trucks and were built more scattershot due to the nature of the recall itself. Effectively, General Motors is reaching out to customers for a do-over. The owners of the 2020 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 and 3500, GMC Sierra 2500 and 3500, which, spoiler, same car, different badges, and 2022 to 2020 to 2022, Chevrolet Silverado trucks 1500 and GMC 1500, and driving trucks with the incorrect version. Are driving trucks with the incorrect version of General Motors transmission control module software. It might not be properly detect the signs of valve body failure. That should put the truck into limp mode long before the wheel lockup begins. Clarify, the software update does not fix the inherent issues with the valve body, nor does it prevent further deterioration of performance. It simply prevents the transmission from commanding random, unsafe shifts at speed. So it's a band-aid, of course. General Motors recently released an updated valve body for light-duty 10-speed and hopes it will provide permanent relief for customers. Yeah, we'll see about that. Again, these are, one of the first comments are, these are 80,000 plus vehicles. Yeah. Again, this is General Motors' most important profitable things is Mary Barra is trying to sell more EVs, which again, lose money every single sale. Again, you should put all your quality assurance to the things that make you the most money, General Motors, so that you can ensure the base of your business is consistent and grows, and it clearly isn't. And this is as if you need yet another reason not to buy a General Motors product. So I gotta say, General Motors, you are certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comments. Great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how to make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.